I don't know what songs you know and you don't know.
Bro, you picked a song that I know and then played somebody's cover of it and expect me to know the cover band. Hello, welcome back to the Millennial View. It's good to be back. Episode 2, we made it. We made it to the next one. If you were here with us last week, you would have gotten to know a little bit about us. Some stories that were, funny. Some stories that were like, oh, wow, I didn't know that, about Josh, or I didn't know that about Dylan. And then some of them, you're just like if you're my mom, you're just like, what is happening right now? And speaking of that, you had a story as well relating to that. So you want to share that?
Yeah, sure, why not? There's this girl I was like talking to. I mean, just kind of, well, actually, we never really met. It's one of those like, dating app kind of Tinder things.
Oh, okay.
And like we planned on hanging out, meeting a few times, and I don't know, she must have saw the podcast and she blocked me on everything.
On everything?
Everything. Like,
no way.
Unmatched me, blocked me on the gram, blocked me on the Snapchat. But she must have forgot. She gave me her number.
Oh, so you text her?
Yeah, I was like, I wanted like clarification on what it
Why?
was. At least give
some
me
sort of closure.
Give me a reason.
Right? Yeah,
that's
you have to.
I feel like I deserve at least an explanation. Basically, like I shot her a text like, "Hey, how are you?" And she's like, "Who is this?" So I was like, well,
dilly dilly.
I didn't say dilly dilly. I did not.
Did you say it's Ted Bundy?
No, it's probably what she thinks of me. She's probably this weirdo. No, I'm not like a creepy guy by any means. Like,
all right.
Anyways, like she blocked me on everything. She watched the podcast and just based on some of the stories I talked about, she just wasn't about it. And I was like,
oh no.
You know what? I bit my tongue in this moment because at the end of the day,
that's your life. It's part of who you were, and people need to accept that if you're going to be in a relationship with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yep.
And the one thing that not me, not you, not anybody, none of us can have back is time.
Right.
Time or once it's past, it's past. You can't go back in the past, change anything once it's already done.
And really, a lot of people do the question of if you could go back in time and change, anything. Would you? And sure, some people will say yes, but most people, they'll be like, wait, no, because that makes me who I am right now.
Right, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It was our backstory. It was our first episode. It was important for you to know our past because it develops our characters for the show, but our actions from the past don't define who we are right now. It actually leans really cool into our next topic, which we're talking about personal growth. We didn't really talk much about that. Our first podcast, we mainly just talked about our past, and we very briefly talked about our goals. One of our goals right now
to get the 10 episode mark.
10 episodes,
right?
Yep.
We're
going for 10 episodes. It's a small goal, but
it's a milestone.
But we need to have those goals because if we set unattainable goals that seem like they're too difficult to do, then it's just gonna demotivate us.
Yeah.
10 is a reasonable number and it's a milestone.
Yeah.
You're right.
And speaking of goals regarding the show, another goal of ours is to have
people on
the show.
That's a good segue.
So reach out
to us on Facebook.
Yeah.
If there's something specifically, a cool story you have that has a specific topic, or if you're in a professional field or you're healthy, you want to talk about something, whatever it is you feel like you have,
or stories,
anything, any stories, just let us know what those are. That way we can fit them into whatever the topics are we're talking about, and we'd love to have. Anyway, that's a good segue.
Or even like any of the guys or any of the people that may have stories with I or yourself, or
that have been inclusive in the stories.
Inclusive in the stories.
And then we'll find a podcast that, like we said, fits the topic. If we're talking about stories from the good old days, maybe we bring some old friends back and have some conversations. And so if you guys are them, or if you're people that we haven't even met yet, there's a cool moment. I'm going to shout these guys out. Hopefully they return the favor, but they don't need to. Creative Minds. It's another podcast similar to ours, and they're close to us.
Yeah, Defiance.
They reached out to me or us on our Facebook and said, hey, we saw your guys' ad. We thought what you're doing is pretty cool. So yeah, they reached out to us. Jonah, if you guys ever wanted to like link up or do something, we'll have you on the show. You have us on the show. We could work something out. It's all about what is called networking.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, we're glad you guys tuned in last week to kind of learn a little bit about us, and now you guys are going to learn about kind of some personal growth, and hopefully there's going to be some takeaways in here for you too. So it's going to be great.
One thing I wanted to kick off, something I've been trying for, a few months now. It's called the 20-day challenge. Yeah, 20-day challenge, right? And,
oh, yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, so it's been about 3-4 months, and I still haven't made it to 20 days. Heck, I haven't even made it to 10 days. And most of you guys are like, what the heck is he talking about right now?
Right.
But basically, the 20-day challenge is, I don't have it on me, but it's a wristband, basically.
Right, I gave you one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it on me. But basically, the goal is to go 20 days in a row without complaining, right? Without complaining once. And that's difficult. That's very difficult to do, and because we don't really realize how much we actually complain, whether it's driving,
right,
whether it's at work or in class or in school or
right,
at home or with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, whatever. We always complain. Like, people just complain.
Well, it's not necessarily an always thing. It's kind of like it's just a reaction. It's like a muscle memory, it's subconscious half the time too. Part of the challenge too, which makes it even harder, is if I say a complaint. So let's say someone cuts me off, and you know me. If somebody cuts me off, I'm usually saying some choice words, and it's just a gut reaction. And not all the time, but if I'm late, 100% of the time. And so what the challenge is when you do a complaint, you have to take the band off and put it onto your other arm. Yeah. And once you do that the first time of the day, you have to start that 20 days over, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Yep. But the complaint thing happens all day. So It doesn't matter if you complain just the once. You're doing that the rest of the day because it trains your mind.
Right.
Dude, I don't know how far you made it, but I barely made it past 2 days. Like,
yeah.
2 days is as far as I made it, and I don't have my band either. I'm not allowed to wear bands technically because of food safety, but
I made it. I made it 6 days.
Oh, you're full of it.
I'm not full of it. I made it 6 days without complaining. I'm not. I made it 6 days, and in my job, that is like, it's torture because everybody knew at work that I was doing this 20-day challenge, trying not to complain.
Making life harder.
They were just purposely, like, you know what I mean? Like, just pushing my buttons, just wanting me to complain, and I wasn't having it. Yeah. I made it 6 days, and
you're full of it.
I'm not.
Mine is because of, I don't really have any excuses. It is, that's what's cool about it, though, is it trains you to subconsciously tell. So even the smallest of complaints, even the smallest of like, oh man, I had to wait for too long today for my coffee. And by the way, it's verbal things. It's not like if you thought something negative but didn't say it, that's control. Right. That's good. Because everyone has initial emotions to everything. Yeah. But for the challenge, it was all about, anything verbally that you said, anything you're putting out into the world.
I think another thing would be like being thankful. I actually have a buddy I used to work with. He went on a mission trip. He went to Africa. We really don't take it for granted, the amount of opportunities we have here, the privileges we have here, and like everything we just take for granted day by day. There are people out there who
wish they had our problems.
Yeah.
Like the problems we think we have.
Yeah.
People around the world, you got to think about it, wish they could have our problems.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't have a big enough house.
Yeah.
There are people that wish they had houses,
right?
Or just a shelter. Or just somewhere. It humbles you.
Yeah, it really does. So, and when he was like telling me this story, it was like, it was like how inspiring it was for him, and how basically like,
it's
it
like
makes you realize, it makes you realize, how much you actually have to be thankful for. Right. And like, there's a lot of things out there.
I actually wrote a note, I saw a quote once about the grateful thing. When you mentioned you want to talk about being grateful for our podcast, if you woke up tomorrow with only the things that you thanked God for today, what would you have?
Say that one more time.
So if you woke up tomorrow, so once we go to bed, if you woke up tomorrow with only the things that you thanked God for today, what would you have?
Nothing.
Same.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, both of us go to church, but sometimes it's hard to just be in that mindset of being grateful.
Yeah.
It's like the
We
complaint
expect
challenge.
it. We expect
Yeah.
things to
And
be.
the way society trains us nowadays, subconsciously is,
Yeah.
We want things quick. We want things, we want it now.
Yeah.
And we can get it now.
Yeah.
You got Amazon. You got groceries delivered to your house now, dude.
Oh,
my
God.
So
yeah.
we want it, we get it. And so
Yeah.
it trains our mind to think that. And so I saw that and I was like, man, that's like a gut check too. Yeah, I got to be more aware of that, more aware of the things that I've gotten. What am I taking for granted? Look at our beautiful setup.
Right.
When go ahead.
I was just gonna say I had a lot of quite a few people say, where are you guys doing the podcast at? In your kitchen? This is our basement, by the way. We have our own little studio.
We have a basement.
Yeah.
We have a studio.
Yes.
Our entire basement is split into music. We have a green screen. We have a podcast set up. Your desk is down here. I have another room that has my desk in it. We have so much to be grateful for. You know? So it's important. You guys just, whatever situation you're in, you don't compare yourself to others. Just realize what you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you start comparing yourself like, man, I wish I had a full-on office to do this, a full-on studio. We had our own camera guys. Dude, this is fun. I enjoy the time. Like, what can we be grateful for here? I can be grateful for spending time with you, just learning more about cameras and stuff like that. If we had people doing the cameras, we don't get to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always something you can take.
There's plenty to be grateful for, thankful for, and it just seems like we're so like competitive. Like it's always like competition. Who can drive? Else. Yeah. Who with friends, with relationships,
just going
with
through
whoever,
Instagram,
whatever it may be, whether it's a girlfriend or a car or a house or a job that pays
more than another job.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it seems like it's like relationships and friendships and different things. Not just
be happy for
myself,
people.
right? Be happy for people
and be happy for yourself and where you are from where you used to be. Like we talked about in our last podcast. I'm really happy with who I am, man. And I'm like honestly, I want to say this, dude. I'm really proud of you. Like no shit right now. Like I'm being serious. This is not even part of our script, but I am because. Well, not our script, but our plan. You know what I'm saying. Stop trying to pick at me when I'm giving you a compliment. Yeah, we have a nice structure. Anyways, I'm proud of you because I've met you, and as you would call it yourself, one of the darkest times for you.
Yeah.
And I've seen you overcome it, and you're like thriving right now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that segments into our next thing. Surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can talk about surrounding myself with the right people because ideally, from like grade school through junior high through high school, I always surrounded myself around the bad people. Not necessarily bad, but the crowd that was more. Come on, is that necessary?
That's so satisfying. I'm sorry.
It's not satisfying. It just satisfied that thought right out of my head that I now do not have whatever. Okay, we were talking about people, bad influences. Not necessarily bad influences.
That was a bad influence.
And it's not like these guys were bad influences. I think when we got together, sometimes friends, when they get together, things just get twisted or, bad things happen. Whether it's like girlfriends or guy friends or whatever it may be, a guy and a girl who are friends, or situations, like not everybody grows up through like the best situation or is brought up in a fancy or a perfect situation.
Right.
But at some point in your life as an adult, you have to decide, am I going to continue to use that as an excuse why I've been dragging my feet through life in my 20s, or am I going to basically make a name for myself and quit, take responsibility and own up to be something greater, be something better, and to work for what you have and the person you can become, the goals you can accomplish, all sorts of things.
It's a mindset.
Yeah, it absolutely is a mindset.
You control. Yeah, you can't. There's certain things you can't control, but I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to take responsibility for it. You can't blame it on anybody or anything. There are certain things, yes, we understand that are out of your control, but what you can control is how you react and how you let it affect you.
Yeah, you have
no matter what circumstance happens.
Right.
You can control how you react to it and how you move forward.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's a great point, man.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something about being surrounded with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, some of the changes that you feel like you've made that have changed kind of your circumstances regarding that.
I feel that everybody at some point in their life, whether they realize it or not, hits a bottom point.
Sure.
You know, you hit a bottom point and you're at that point, and you can either, like, some people might not even realize they're at a bottom point. They're just kind of,
just living through it.
Yeah, they're just living life through it as if there's nothing wrong.
Right.
Or as if there's,
because they don't know anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
And ideally they are at a bottom. They just can't realize it. Me, I know when I went through my bottom, I recognized it. I realized it was a bottom, and I had to make key decisions on what direction I want to go, you know, and who I want to become, and more so. And I think whoever you are, or whatever, bad crowd you're hanging out with, whatnot, I feel like if you want to grow, in order to grow, you have to kind of sink on to other people, like different crowd, more so to speak, maybe people who are better than you, people who
want the best for you.
Yeah, people who want the best for you, or mean good things, or influence in a positive way,
right?
Something like that, or people who are ahead of you in life, more so.
Right. Yeah. And speaking on something you touched on just a little bit was, surrounding yourself with people who are better than you so you can take that in the way of, like, let's say you want to be successful at something.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I wanted to be like one of the best editors. So I surrounded myself with some people that were really good editors that could teach me something. And just by being around them, I would learn stuff. And not just editors, but just video creative. And I'm a musician, I'm a drummer. So I surrounded myself with better drummers than me because I want to be better. If I surround myself with people, you should have somebody who's like a mentor to you. You should have somebody that's like a peer to you. And ideally you have somebody that you can mentor. Because you can learn from all three of those situations. It's actually a thing from the Bible. That's weird. But you can actually learn from, like, somebody teaching you. Obviously, you learn. Working with your peers.
Yeah.
We mentioned, working with other podcasters. We learn from them. And then helping other people by teaching them. We verbalize that and learn from that. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing that I pulled up, because I know you do your research. I did a little bit of research on this one specifically.
Yeah.
So SMART goals. Have you heard of those before? Like, not like, oh, that's a SMART goal, but like SMART. It's an acronym.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. The term.
So what it stands for is specific. I don't have this on here. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. So the whole idea of it is there are things that are actually attainable. You're able to do it because if it's specific, like our goal is to hit 10. So 10's the specific.
Right.
Is it measurable? Yeah. Either we're going to hit 10 or we're going to stop recording before then. That's a measurable thing.
Right.
It could be a race or something like that. If you're like, hey, I want to be able to run a mile in this amount of time, you can measure that.
Realistic.
And also that's part of it. Realistic. Is it realistic for us to make it to 10?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it achievable?
Yeah.
Or is it, and are we setting ourselves a time? Yeah. So the way we would make this measurable is, or time-based is from our first episode.
Yeah.
Whatever 10 weeks from that date is, that's our date to have 10. Yeah. So this is a SMART goal. That's a little nugget. Yep. So you mentioned short-term and long-term goals. So for us, a big goal of ours is to make this a full-time job. If we could get our own studio, make the Millennial View a TV show.
All right, that's okay.
Well,
you're right.
Let me finish. So let's say in 3 years, that's where we want to be.
Yeah.
We want to be doing this full-time as our jobs 3 years from now. What do we do 1 year from now? What would we need to do to make that possible? Like, what steps would we need to take to be sure we're on track to hit that at 3 months? We don't have to go into exactly what we would do. We're not going to give you our secrets. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think consistency.
Consistency, that'd be one of them. But they'd have to be specific. So then from that point, so I'm just telling you kind of the idea of how this works.
Yeah.
So 3 years from now, let's say that's what we want to do. I'm not sure if that's the time we set. but 3 years from now, that's what we want to do. So what do we need to have done by year 1, and what do we have to have done 6 months from now?
Right.
Consistency, making sure we've uploaded every single week would probably be a short-term goal. Put that in the 6 month.
Yeah.
In order for us to be able to get paid from this, we'd have to start earning some sponsors probably by either 6 months or by a year. So we're not going to get too specific into that. But that's what that tool is used for. So let's say you want to be married. You're in a relationship. You want to be married and have a house by the time 3 years from now. What goals can you set for yourself?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how that works.
Ultimately, I think we want to create a fan base. And obviously, views.
You talk about specifically
for our show. Yeah, we want to build a fan base. We want to make
those are our goals.
Yeah, we want to make it fun. We want to make it, inspiring maybe, or there's so many different directions and routes we can go.
If you can take anything from this podcast, whether it be a laugh, whether it be maybe one episode we might have an emotional one. Who knows? I mean, it might happen, dude. We're human. You know, maybe you'll take a little nugget of wisdom from this. If we're able to offer you anything, man, that's awesome. That feels really good. I get goosebumps from thinking for real. That's why I liked being in managerial spots, because if I can offer or leadership spots, I should say, if I'm able to offer somebody something and I can see that affect their life and impact them in a positive way, live for that, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. I know it's satisfying.
I mean, it would be cool to be famous, sure. But more cool is that we're 150 people when we're shooting this watched our show.
Yeah. No, more than that now, buddy. It's going on 200.
Some people scoff at that. 150 people, that's nothing. The people that are getting millions of views. But you got to be humble. 100 views is a lot, dude. 100 people clicked on that. And we are so happy to have you here. But let's tie it back into the conversation. We also, he mentioned structure. I wanted to use that as a kind of a segue. You're going to notice a nice little structure for this episode. Yeah. It's going to be going in that direction. We have some more surprises. We might not reveal those tonight for upcoming episodes, but you're going to notice a lot more structure today. Yeah, we do have a fun little segment coming up, so if you've made it this far, make sure you stay tuned, because somebody's getting slapped in the face, and you've probably seen little teasers for it this week with a fly swatter. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be you.
Yeah, right.
If it's me, I'm gonna be so upset.
We'll find out.
I'd be okay if it was me.
It's okay. It's just a slap. You know what? I've been slapped by females before. It can't be any worse, right? Hey, and
I feel like I pick on you. I pick on you too much, so I'm okay with. I'm okay with
getting a bounce back.
If you earn it, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. We haven't killed any flies with that fly swatter, have we? I
might have killed a spider.
A what? A spider? I don't want any part of spider on me.
We'll rinse it off.
Yeah, please do, because anyways.
No, we'll rinse it off because I hate spiders too. Anyways, I don't know if it looked like for the most part we've talked about a lot. One other thing I wanted to mention, and then I'd love to kick it back to you to see what you'd like to talk about to wrap it up. Books. I've never been the best reader. There was one time in my life when I was in grade school where there was competitions, and I'm a competitive person naturally. I don't look athletic, but that doesn't mean I can't be competitive. Anyways, this is gonna make me sound nerdy. When I was in third grade, they had this thing where if you you had book clubs. So if you read 100 books in a year, you'd get But here's the thing: the rewards is you would get a limo ride to get pizza. Oh, it was sweet. You'd have a whole gymnasium full of the bouncy toys. Or not the bouncy toys, but the bouncy stadiums, where you could do the mazes, you could box, you use those little pogo sticks.
I get what you're saying.
They had the whole setup. Yeah. So call me a nerd, but I'll tell you what, I was in the cash thing too. They had a cash room where they had cash go, and anything you could take, you could keep it. I swear, dude. This was at Perrysburg. I'm gonna shout them out. This happened 100%.
No way.
But Perrysburg also compared to your school was.
I went to Bowling Green in junior high, so we were rivals. Bowling Green and Perrysburg. Junior high. Yeah.
Anyways, so I don't even remember what I was. Oh, books. Yes.
Yeah, books.
So, right now I'm when I got into college, wasn't the greatest at it. After I left college, I started actively seeking books that I was interested about.
Right.
And so for me, that's all it takes. If I'm interested about it, I'm gonna find whatever information I can through whatever source possible. Now you get me back now? Gotcha. Heard that. All right. But, so books, there's a couple right now I'd recommend. They're not sponsored. There's one about discipline by Jocko Willink. That one's one that I'm reading right now. Yeah. So do you have any books you're reading right now? I know you mentioned one that you thought was really good for you.
Well, it wasn't the book that I expected. I did. I read the entire book, front to back. It was called How to Be Rich.
How to Be Rich.
I was like, this is it. This is the key to being rich, because that's what we all want to be, right? We all want to be rich. Yeah, and it was the complete opposite. If you make $30,000 or more, which I would say we're both in that club.
In the category.
Yep. In the category.
Maybe not far into it, but we're somewhere there.
Well, OT goes a long way, buddy. So anyways, that you're in the top 10% richest people in the world.
This on average.
Yeah, in the world though. Not in the United States.
Including poverty.
Including countries like Africa and countries where people are dirt poor and they don't have grocery stores and they don't have those kind of things.
Well, their economy's just different.
Right.
Or even if they have one.
Yeah. And that's basically what the book was about. It's how to be rich. It's how to manage what you do have and how to get through with what you can manage to get through.
So it's kind of financial.
Yeah.
It's kind of a financial book.
It was a financial book, but also it was like more so, it's
how to be rich in life, like what makes you. Yeah. Now, I have a question for you because I know what my answer is, but I'd love to hear, obviously what yours is. If you could make as much money in the world that you think would make you happy, but be doing something that you're not like super passionate about, versus making, enough to live on, but doing something you love, you're passionate about.
And that actually ties into something because there was a trade I was actually really interested in going into after college didn't work out, and I was going to go into like the electrical field, be like an electrician. And they make a lot. They do make a lot. And, go on, be a journeyman, go through the apprenticeship, do that whole 9 yards, and I'd make a lot of money, someday doing that, 4 or 5 years into the trade. But I made a decision, kind of more so to speak. I made a decision. I want to work in a field that I'm passionate about.
Right.
Something I enjoy doing, not necessarily making a ton of money, although with video the sky's the limit, right?
There's potential.
The sky's the limit, but
it's a slow roll.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you know, you see all these people that look like they're overnight successes on videos, or you're like actors that you feel like came out of nowhere. You're like, oh wow, where'd this actor come from?
Yeah.
Do some research.
They did a lot of work.
The overnight success was actually like a 10-year period.
Yeah. They set
or
goals.
a 5-year period where they're doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my little timer, speaking of structure, is going off right now. So we can kind of wrap up a little bit here.
Yeah.
But so you'd rather do something that you're passionate about and then work your way towards being. I feel like that's how I would define success too. Doing something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Other people's can be money. You can be money driven. That's fine. But for me, that's what it is. Doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
This is,
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Well, cool. We're gonna do this
got
game.
A segment coming.
Yes. So to introduce you to this segment, it will be on every show. We're gonna have a game slash fun thing happen. So this week we're gonna be doing name that song or artist. So we'll talk a little bit about the rules for that in a second. But we are going to be introducing a wheel, and that's really all I'm going to kind of tell you, because I want you to kind of be surprised.
There'll be some punishments on the show. We'll just say that.
Yeah, there'll be some challenges, some things that are happening.
We need some guests. We need some guests.
Yep, guests will help the segment, but no matter what, this segment is going to follow our main topic every week, so we can build some consistency, so you can expect that.
Yeah.
So we're going to get right into it. All right, so let's jump into that, and we'll explain the rules. So basically, we each picked 5 songs before the show tonight, and we're gonna play them, and the other person's gonna try to guess off of just a small segment of the song, the artist's name, and the song name. You get a point for each, and at the end of it, you might be wondering why this fly swatter's here. Dylan, why don't you tell them what happens to the loser.
To the loser. Well, the loser gets smacked in the face.
Smacked in the face with the fly swatter.
I mean, it can't be that painful, right?
It's going to be rough.
Just imagine what it's like for a fly now.
They die.
Yeah, exactly. So
What?
we're not no one's gonna die, but it's gonna hurt, right?
I got to work tomorrow. Anyways.
Big old
Just
handprint on your
handprint
face. Who'd you piss off?
Um,
I mean, we've been smacked before. You've never been slapped before, smacked in the face before by a handprint?
Not recently.
Oh, no, not recently, but
So the rules that we put in place is each of us has to pick at least 3 songs that the other person has heard before that we know 100% they've heard before. Because we can't know all the songs each other have heard before, but we should at least have a fair shot at it. So 3 of them have to be.
Yeah, somewhat popular songs.
Yeah, and they've got to be somewhat popular things that but that's not part of the rule.
Right,
the rules was just mainly the 3, and then the other 2 are kind of like a wild card.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? I want you to go first.
No, we got to do rock, paper, scissors,
rock,
buddy.
paper, scissors?
Yeah,
right,
and
best
shoot.
of 3?
No, just one, baby.
No,
just
best
one.
of 3.
No. One and done. Okay?
Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Fuck
Bang,
you.
bang, bang. Snip, snip. There you go.
Are you going
You're
first
up.
or second?
No, what? Yeah, I'm going second.
Okay.
Oh, so you get me first.
So I play songs first?
Yep.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
That's so much better because then I can see how many points you got.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, you ready? We didn't test my audio, so let's get it going.
You hit record.
Okay. Ready? Oh, yeah. Everything's recording,
Okay.
bro.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now.
Okay. Logic.
Oh, yeah, that's 1 point. Well, since you stopped it, I'm not playing it again.
Everybody.
Okay, you got both of them.
2 points. Let's go.
I picked really easy ones for him.
That's okay. Ooh,
That's all you got.
3 a.m.
Wrong.
3:15.
You can't get you get one guess. You get one verbal guess and you did it.
It was 3:15, wasn't it?
It was 3:15.
Son of a! I was 15 minutes off.
You want to try to guess artist?
I don't know the artist.
So it's 3:15 by Bozzy.
Oh, okay, Bozzy. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Okay.
So, and now to be fair, when I do the guesses, I only get one verbal guess. So if you want to guess more, think in your head before you say it. All right.
Little
Here we
kid
go.
shouting out the answer before he knows it.
Here's a throwback.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not playing the rest.
Okay. Is it Jesse's Girl?
Yep, that's 1 point. So we're up to 3. Ding ding.
Man.
Who's it by?
Man, this is, I know it's a rock and roll band. I just come on.
So you might as well take a guess.
Well, Aerosmith.
Never mind. You should have. You said Aerosmith.
Come on, man. Who is it?
Rick Springfield.
No, well, I don't even.
That's no, okay.
Aerosmith.
Anyways, I bet you if you pulled up Rick Springfield, Aerosmith is not even a band that goes.
I don't. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to take a guess.
All right, so we're up to 3 points, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Here's another throwback.
Okay. Yeah, I know this one. Lolly.
Okay.
It's
You
got,
have to wait. Time out.
I'll name at least 2 artists. 3 artists.
There's only 2.
2.
Yeah. If you want the full point, you have to get 2. Otherwise, you get half point
Okay. I have to name 2 artists.
to get the full point for the artist one, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's
Because
fine.
it would be like if you only picked a song with one artist
Yeah.
every single time, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have the opportunity to get it.
Right.
So you could get a half point if you get one, or you get the full point if you get
Okay.
both.
Okay. I know Justin Bieber's in it, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
Or
I
you know what? There's 3 of them.
Okay.
So a third point for each one. So you got Justin Bieber. That's right. You were right. Sorry, there's 3 people.
Oh man.
You want to just take a guess? You get 2 more guesses.
T-Pain.
No.
Oh my gosh. Lil Wayne.
No.
Okay.
I'll give you a half point. 'cause
Okay.
the third of a
Well,
point's
I get
stupid.
Lolly, so I get a point and a half for that.
A point and a half for that. So we're
I
at
got
4.5
4 and a
points.
half point.
All right, here's the next one and the final one.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that. So,
Start
who's the artist?
Chainsmokers.
Oh, good guess. That's what it was. Yep.
Okay. And then it starts with a how.
I'll play a little bit more. he's lipping it though, so he knows it. So I'm happy to play it all the way up to the point where it's gonna say the word.
I know it's how something, but I can't.
All right, let's throw up a guess.
What? I'm bad at guessing.
I know, but it's just a lost point if you don't even throw something up. You could just
I know
BS
it's
it
like
and get it.
it's yeah.
You could.
Absolutely. Okay.
So just throw a guess. The Aerosmith was interesting, but just throw a guess.
How? I don't know.
How now, brown cow?
No.
No.
How about now? No. I don't know.
Okay, so how about now is your guess? And
no, it wasn't.
Honest.
Started with H. Okay,
honest.
whatever. Honest. Okay. Oh, this sucks because you're gonna know this
All
one.
right, so my turn.
Okay, you ready?
Start.
You know, come on. You can't say you don't know this one. All right.
Eastside. Fuck, I don't know.
You don't know it? You don't know that song? Come on. What do you mean? See, it's hard when it hits. Okay. Are you sacrificing both points? You got to know at least one of the artists, right? Get you half a point.
Drake's in there.
Okay, there you go. So you got a half a point.
And Lil Wayne.
That's
so
a point. You got a point.
I can hear them. I just can't hear the damn song title.
Yeah, I know it.
It sucks.
Okay.
Bro, I don't know why I'm freezing. No, hold on.
Right.
Hold on.
It's the motto.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to get that.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get that.
Okay.
Even with enough time in the world, I wasn't going to get that. I thought it was going to be something else. So I got 1 point.
You got 1 point. Okay.
I knew Lil Wayne because I heard his little raspy thing in there.
All right, here we go. All right, don't worry. I'm going to switch into some other music here in a minute, but here's this one.
I've never heard this song.
Listen, you've heard this song.
I don't recognize any of this.
Come on.
I've never heard this song.
Never heard this song?
Honestly, no.
Oh. Well, what is...
What is
just,
what? How
I'm
am I
waiting
supposed
for... Okay, let me... Here. I'll fast forward.
I've never heard this song. How am I supposed to guess that?
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll give you 2 hints.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. 1 hint is this musician, this artist, passed away.
MGK. Or no. Time out.
What?
No, Mac Miller.
Okay.
Mac Miller. That's what I meant.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I know.
That's fine.
I know.
That's fine.
You know. I know MGK's not dead. I showed you a podcast he was on.
I know.
Okay.
You get a point.
I'll sacrifice the other point.
Okay.
That's
there we
fair.
go. So
Because you gave me.
Yeah.
I did guess.
I should.
But I honestly didn't know that song.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's
so I'm at 2 points.
You're at 2 points.
Shit. Okay. Sucks.
All right.
Do you feel fair about that? If you end up getting slapped, do you feel fair about that?
I'll feel fair about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I got 5.5.
Skrillex. I mean, I want to say it's cinema, so I'm going to say cinema.
It's levels.
Damn it! So I'm at 3 points. I got 2 more songs.
Oh, no. These are not going to be easy songs.
I don't know levels.
I know you know this. You can't. I know.
You gave me hard ones, bro. I gave you pretty easy ones.
No.
Yes.
What do you?
Facts. I give
These
you really
aren't
easy ones.
These are not hard songs. Okay. Now I feel like you would definitely know this song. I don't know. Maybe the direction. I should go with a song that. What? How many points are you at?
3.
No. No. If I give you this one, you will. I'm gonna give you this song. I know you've had to have heard this song.
You thought that about the Mac Miller song. I don't. Like, I'm sorry if I offend people, but I don't listen to that guy.
It's okay.
I never heard this.
Stop playing.
I've never heard this. You picked 2 songs I've never heard, and a hint's not going to help me.
Unbelievable.
I've also never watched The Goonies, for anyone who's wondering how uncultured I am.
The Goonies? You never watched The
No.
Goonies?
But you can't assume I've listened to this song.
Well,
you have to, like, these songs, I've been with you as you've listened to them. All of them.
Unbelievable. All right.
How am I supposed to guess a song I've never heard? Well, that's not even the right version.
Don't matter. It's
This
still
is bullshit. This is some bullshit. And can I say the original artist?
no.
I can't say an artist. I've never heard of them.
Don't
That's
tell me
bullshit.
you've never heard of them. I
That's a
got that
bullshit
song
rule.
from you. You're the one who played that
I
song
never
for me.
played that one.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Don't
know what?
even.
I recognize a voice,
A
but that's
game.
it.
I know you're competitive.
It's Justin Bieber.
But that wasn't Justin Bieber.
Okay. Okay. If I end up getting slapped, I want a bunch of people commenting on this of how much bullshit
what's
this
the song
is.
called? What's the
well,
song
hold on,
called?
hold on. How much bullshit it is that you're picking songs I don't know, and I'm not faking it.
I didn't know all the
And
songs
also,
you gave me.
And also, you're picking different versions of the song and expecting me to know the artists that aren't the original artists. Like, what?
I'm being competitive. I feel like that's. Okay.
You should go and love yourself. Love Yourself is the title. And because I feel like I know that it's pop punk. That's the album. Obviously, it's pop punk. I'm going to guess Our Last Night.
Okay.
Is that what it was?
What?
Our Last Night. Is that the band?
Nope.
Well, of course, because I don't know who it could be.
It's okay. Why are you getting upset?
Because you're picking bullshit rules.
I'm not picking bullshit rules.
You can't pick the non-original thing.
I don't know what songs you know and you don't know.
Bro, you picked a song that I know and then played somebody's cover of it and expect me to know the cover band.
The cover that you had me listen.
I never had you listen to that. I had you listen to. I'll show you the one I had you listen to.
It's okay.
What?
You got 2 points out of it. So I don't know.
I didn't. I got 1 point. Now I'm at 4, and I have to get 2 points on this one. Because I'm not gonna break the rules. I'll take the slap.
Okay,
but I just want everyone to know you.
Fine. You're at 4. You need to get 2 points, and I think you will.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll take the slap. I'm just telling you. You picking some silly things, man. See the Justin.
I don't want to get smacked in the face.
What was the artist?
I already backed out.
Well, go to it real quick. We'll cut through this. I want to know what the artist was because I think you picked. I think you know which. You thought I knew this one, but I don't.
The Killers.
No. This is the one I showed you.
Oh well.
This is the one I showed you.
Okay, fair enough.
So you picked one that I had not shown you.
Okay.
Because you're talking about this one,
That's fine.
right?
Yeah.
This is the one, right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I'll take the
Okay.
slap. I
Okay.
will. I just want people to know that I didn't say that. That's
Okay.
it. All right.
Fine,
Fair.
whatever. Fair.
I'm gonna get. Don't give me an easy one. Give me the original.
I'm gonna give you this one. The original song.
Was this the? No. Give me the original that you were gonna pick. Don't give me an easy one. Is this?
That was the original. Yeah, that's okay.
Are you giving me another one? That's.
Yeah, I'm giving you
Don't
the,
give me an easy
the
one.
5th and final one, and you are
Okay.
sitting at. You
I'm
have
sitting at 4.
4 points.
I have to get both. It makes it interesting.
And I think you'll be able to. Listen.
Bro, I've never heard this song either.
Well, if it helps, it was a band I guessed.
Yeah. Okay.
Come
yeah,
on.
obviously, I know it's Aerosmith now, but Bro, I don't. I appreciate you throwing in a throwback.
Come on.
Yeah, I recognize this tag of it, but I never know the title.
I felt the same way in some of the songs you picked for me. I got 5.5 out of 10. It's not like I just boom, boom, boom knew every song. All right, come on. You're
I
it.
have no idea who it is. I think this is bullshit. I think we should make it.
Listen.
We both get slapped.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I
Come
think
on,
so.
Josh. You
I
got to
think
get
so.
shit on at some point in the show.
No, you know the Killers
You're
thing. The Killers thing was bullshit, though. You know
I
that, right?
gave you one for Justin Bieber.
You gave me one for guessing. No, you didn't. You gave me for the name.
It was bullshit. That wasn't even my original song. It was.
So then why would you play me?
It was
something?
the song I played before that song.
Which one?
The Body Like a Back Road by Sam Hunt. Yeah, I know.
Is that a country song?
It's a country song.
Bruh, you know I don't listen to country.
Well, so
you can't tell me you figured I knew what it was when you know I don't like country. What? Bruh, come on.
How do you
now.
not know the song?
We gotta set up a camera. Which one do we want to use?
Come
on, do it.
No,
Don't hit my eye.
listen.
Don't just do it.
Close them,
Just
all
do it.
right?
No, I'm not closing
I'm
it.
gonna do it.
No,
On the
just do it.
count
No,
of
you're not
three.
counting three. Just do it. Just do it.
One,
You.
2. No, that don't count. 3.
Go.
Ouch!
want to hear from you guys on that one and what you think, was there. Did I have my glasses on too? That probably made it even worse. I don't even remember if I had them on or just put them on. That's how. Anyways, I'll stop complaining now. I guess you could call me a sore loser, but I don't feel that way. I lost, clearly, got slapped in the face. We tricked you guys. You probably thought Dylan was getting slapped earlier this week. But
My idea, by the way.
But anyways, so yeah, we hope you enjoyed that segment. We just want to end the podcast by recommending some things from our main topic that you can kind of take with you, kind of little nuggets. Dylan, why don't you hit a little bit about the 20 days without complaining, just kind of tell people how they could get involved in that if they wanted to.
Well, there is something where, basically one of those little wristbands, those little
or rubber bands,
a
hair
anything.
thingy.
Hair, it could, be
literally
a hair
anything
tie.
you wear on your wrist that you can take off and put back on that makes you physically have to, relocate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it triggers your brain basically telling your mind you made a mistake by complaining, so now you have to start all over.
Right.
So, it's real easy. It's not real easy. It's real difficult, especially if you are an angry driver or you work in a stressful work environment, or you have a big exam coming up, or whatever it may be, that can stress you out or cause you to complain,
without even knowing it.
Without knowing it, right? So all the whole point, the whole purpose of the 20-day challenge is to kind of train your mind to just try not to complain so much, or at least realize how much you do complain.
That way you can kind of minimize it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy, or maybe not even, I don't know if it's possible to not complain 100% of the time, but if you're more aware of it, you can make more choices to try to avoid it.
Yep.
If you guys do that, let us know. Comment, reach out to us. If you're on Twitter, #TMV 20-day challenge. That way we can follow with you guys and see how that's working for you.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Cool. What else you got to give to the people?
Yeah, I have a whole library upstairs of about 15 books that I need. I've been telling myself I need to read. I want to read.
So here we go. Talking about goals. Let's do it for each other. So, what are one of those books up there that you've been dying to read, that you've been meaning to read? Do you know the title of them?
Yeah, one of them's called The Fred Factor.
The Fred Factor?
Yeah, Fred Factor.
What's that about?
Well, I haven't read the
book.
book.
Well, obviously, yes.
I'm just kidding.
You bought the book for a reason.
Yeah, it is. It's just about another one of those personal growth
books.
Cool. Yeah.
So how about we set a goal to get one chapter into it?
Yeah.
By next week.
Yeah. One chapter of a personal growth book by next week.
No, that specific one.
Fred Factor.
Fred Factor.
Why not?
And then we could even talk about it a little bit, what you got from it. And then for me, that discipline book I was telling you about, I can't remember the title of it right now.
Yeah.
But I haven't I started it and then stopped, got busy with life.
Yeah.
Kind of like you did. I have a bunch of books that I'd like to read.
Yeah.
I'll make that my goal. You hold me accountable, I'll hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
Right? We want to do it, so why not do it? We're doing this podcast. Why not do it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. All right. And whatever books you guys are into, I mean, we'll put afterwards, since I'm editing this after the podcast, I'll find out what the title or the artist of both of them are. So if you guys want to do it with us, awesome. Or if you have your own book or your own goal that you want to do from today to next week, tell us about it.
Yeah.
This is the part where we want you guys, if
included.
You want to be included. This is where we'd love to invite you and join it if you like. All right. You got anything else for the rest of the podcast before we wrap it up?
No. I think we touched base on everything.
Cool. So, what's next week?
Next week is Halloween, everybody.
Right.
Halloween. Spooky season, and for spooky season, we will have a spooky segment.
A spooky podcast.
Yeah, we'll
have
have
a spooky show.
It'll be fun. I hope it'll be a good time. So, looking forward to that. Another game, another kind of it's like a top 10 spooky.
Yep.
Spooky places to
got
go.
Plans for it. So yeah, we've got that coming up next week. So thanks for watching. We upload every Wednesday. If you enjoy the podcast, just know that subscribing is an option. We have all of our socials in the bottom. We're on Facebook. Instagram and Facebook are our main ones. We also have Snapchats individually, and we have a Twitter account if you're still on that. And next week, like you mentioned, we'll be having a Halloween podcast, and we hope to see you there.
Have a good week.